All right, we have Carla Esparza on the program coming off her decision win over Marina Rodriguez at UFC on ESPN 14 over the weekend in Abu Dhabi. Carla, good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Just got home yesterday and just been relaxing and grubbing.
There you go. Congratulations on the win. It was a hard-fought victory for you. You showed that dog toughness and grit that we see from you so often. How does it all feel a few days after the fact?
Well, a little sore, but I'm honestly like really stoked about the way everything went. I feel like it was a pretty decisive win, and I'm on a good little streak right now. So yeah, just feeling good.
How is the eye feeling right now? Like, we could see some remnants from the battle. It looked pretty nasty on Saturday. Does it feel better that it looked on Saturday and then it looks right now?
Yeah, it's definitely feeling better. It's bumps and bruises and all that. It's just, another day at the office for us. So, nothing too crazy. Fortunately, no like real injuries other than, I just got a couple stitches, so nothing too bad for me.
It was quite the road to get to that fight. First, with it being in the middle of a pandemic, Fight Island, the dates being changed. First off, what did you think of the setup and the Fight Island experience overall?
I thought it was a really good setup. The only thing that kind of threw things off was the time change for people. We were fighting at some people were fighting at 1 a.m. over there. So, just kind of stick on a schedule back home. Then our obligations were all during Abu Dhabi time. And, everyone was just kind of like a little bit off. And, that was the only thing that threw things off. But other than that, honestly, like everything was super smooth. Like, everyone was really friendly and accommodating. Like, I was lucky enough to show up on the final week. So I feel like they really got everything kind of, locked down. And, for the most part, it was really like well organized. Of course we had to jump through a couple hoops, doing all the testing and, quarantining and everything there. But, I feel like it's just part of our journey, and we're just lucky that we were able to even fight, honestly.
For sure. Marina, obviously a very dangerous opponent heading in, entered the fight unbeaten, terrific striker from everywhere, as you found out on Saturday. But I spoke with Alex Perez a couple of days before the fight, and he told me that you looked great, that you were ready, and that he saw some things personally that he knew you'd be able to take advantage of in the fight. Any surprises, anything unexpected that she brought your way?
Honestly, I feel we were pretty well prepared for everything that she had. The only thing that caught me off guard a little bit was, like her strikes off the back. I didn't think she would be as dangerous as she was. And when I gave her the opportunity, like to come on top, going for those footlogs, I feel like she was very aggressive and took advantage of the short time that she had down there. And, she's just like super tough, I guess I would say. Because watching her fights, she does have a lot of grit, and she's definitely has a no quit type of attitude. I've seen her in some really spots with Calvillo and Randa Marcos, and she just kind of kept pushing, and has that like no quit mentality. So when I went for my second footlock, I thought that I did feel a few pops, and I thought she would have like tapped to that, but she's just super tough.
What was the conversation like between the second and third rounds? Because the scoring, at least on social media, was kind of all over the place heading into the third round. What was that conversation like between you and your coaches?
I think it was basically like, hey, like, you're winning the fight. Just do it. Like, stop going. Keep your position. You're having great position. Just keep fight smart, pretty much. Like, I was going for like these Hail Mary type of things, and just to like fight the smart fight and keep a good position and win that round like decisively. And my coach was telling me like just let go and with the ground and pound, and he thought that she was gonna quit, and I felt that she kind of started breaking a little bit towards that third round.
It was a battle in there. It was a very close fight, great competitive matchup. I felt like this was one of the under the radar fights, not just for the card, but for the full slate of Fight Island events. This is one that was circled on my books for a while. But when the fight's all over and you have that battle and Joe Martinez is getting ready to read the scorecards, what is going through your mind?
I honestly thought I had the fight in the bag, and then, you hear that, like, split decision. You're always just kind of like, oh my God, like, what, what's going to happen right now? And, always kind of a scary moment. But, I mean, I felt that I had it, and I didn't even personally, I felt that I won, like, all. So I was, like, a little bit, like, scared at that moment when I heard that. But, I would have been kicking myself definitely for those Hail block attempts, had the decision gone the other way, but fortunately I was able to pull it off.
One of the beautiful things about this sport is that no matter how long you've been doing it, how many big level fights you've had, you can always grow and take something away from a fight. Doesn't matter when or where or who, you always take something away. What did you take away from those 15 minutes with Marina?
I guess what I took away was, just being more conscious of, if I am going to go for, like, submission, just more conscious of the time, on the clock, more conscious of, where the fight is, like how I'm doing in the fight, and do I really need this submission right now? Like, just being more smart about, when I'm throwing these things out there. And, I would say that's the biggest takeaway for me. Everything else is pretty much like pretty standard. Like, fights are hard, things happen, things that I've seen before. But I really wanted to, test a couple things out and take some more chances. I want to start getting these, exciting finishes. I want to start putting people out and not leaving it to the judges. And I think I just have to be a little bit more smart about when I do them and where I do them. I got caught on the cage, my first time. So I would say that's the biggest takeaway.
So let's talk about where you go from here, because that's what we do in MMA, right? Like, you get to enjoy the victory for 2 minutes before these questions start coming in. You've been wanting a fight with Claudia Gadelha for a little while now. She's got a fight booked. And then Amanda Ribas called for the winner of your fight with Marina. Claudia seems to be like the number one on your list, but Amanda's got herself some momentum right now after that win over Paige Van Zandt. So what have you made of Amanda's sort of rise over these last several months?
She's definitely been someone that I've been hearing about for a while in the division as, an up-and-coming star, So, I would definitely love the opportunity to take that challenge, especially if she's asking for it. I would love that fight. I think it's a really good fight. Claudia Gadelha, it's going to happen. I feel like it's just that's a tough one. I've been wanting to fight her since the last fight. We've had this back and forth thing going for so many years since back in Invicta. This has been going on for 7+ years. Just this kind of rivalry. So if she wants to fight me, I want to fight her. So it's gonna happen eventually. I'm not gonna hold my breath for it though. If Amanda's the next fight for me, Amanda's the next fight. If there's another fight for me, if a title fight is in the talks, I'm in for that too. So, I'm game for whatever.
I feel like you're on this great streak right now. You've won 4 in a row, and Amanda right now would be like a nice notch in your belt, considering how much people have been sort of gravitating towards her. And you've been known to hand these surging fighters that veteran L. Do you enjoy, I guess, being that sort of hype train derailer for the 115-pound division?
Honestly, that's what it's starting to feel like. I feel like I'm like the gatekeeper for the young up and comers, and it's like, is this person ready for that title shot? And but I'm tired of being that gatekeeper. I feel that I'm ready for another title shot. I feel like I'm the next fight that makes sense. There's a lot of people that are out right now and not able to fight or coming off losses, and for me, I've been knocked down, but I've been climbing my way back to that title shot, and I feel like I'm ready for it.
Do you feel like fighting Zhang is like right there for you? Do you feel like the stars have aligned to make that fight happen here?
You know, I would say I am ready for that fight, and with everything going on in the world, it is really like stars aligning. You know, just kind of have has worked out this way where I feel that everything is just kind of lining up. You know, like Rose is out for a while with her no surgery. I hear like Tatiana has a neck injury, and Nina is pregnant, and this division. There's a lot going on in this division right now, and a lot of people are not able to fight right now. And I'm coming off four big wins against really tough opponents, and I think that the stars are aligned for me to take this opportunity. This pandemic has honestly been giving me nothing but opportunities, and my hands are open for them. I'm ready for the taking.
I feel like it's a two-horse race right now for that next title shot. It's either they run back the fight with Joanna, which was a classic for 25 minutes, or they give you the title shot. And I've always wanted to know, like, what about Joanna? Like, that first fight happened 5 years ago. It was a much different time. It was your first, like, big event in front of a huge crowd like that. Like, you've come a long way. You've got so much big fight experience under your belt since then. Is that a fight you'd like to get back at some point?
I think if we fought again, the fight would, it's a tough fight. Joanna is one of the best fighters in the world. Who knows where the fight's going to go, but I definitely feel that it will go a lot differently than it did the first time. I'm not one who's hungry for rematches for this person or that person. I'm just hungry for that top spot. Whoever that might be, whoever's in that spot, if it's Joanna, if it's Weili or whoever. I'm not chasing any specific person. I mean, aside from the rivalry between me and Claudia, like I'm game for whoever's going to put me next to that title shot.
Yeah, the Claudia fight just needs to happen at this point. Like, I can't believe it hasn't happened already. It's bizarre.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to try? I mean, when would you like to come back? I mean, obviously you're healing up a little bit here, and it's a crazy time. So these events are just going to keep popping up. These big fights keep popping up out of nowhere. When would you like to get back if it were up to you?
Like I did not take any too bad of damage other than, stitches and a couple of bumps and bruises. So, I definitely like to come back sooner rather than later. I'm going to get back to training in the next couple weeks. I'm going to take time off, to kind of like mentally and physically recover a little bit, but I'm going to be back at it soon. And, I'm ready to fight and take advantage of these times right now. There's a lot of opportunities out there. And, I'm game to come back in the next, 2-3 months or whenever.
And you get to be a fan for a little while. Your good friend Felice Herrig's about to get back at it after nearly 2 years away. She's been recovering from the torn ACL, and she's facing an opponent in Verna Jandiroba, someone you're familiar with because you've already fought her and defeated her, handed her first loss. How excited are you to see Felice get back in there and do her thing?
Oh my God, I am so excited for Felice. We've been talking a lot over, the course of her injury, and injuries are never tough for fighters. This is what we do. This is our life. And, I feel that it's lit a fire under her, though. She's hungry to come back. She's ready to get in that win column. And I feel like she's mixed things up, with some new coaches and training partners. So I think we're going to definitely see a new Felice out there. So I'm really excited for her.
True or false, by this time next year, the Team Oyama gym will have 2 UFC world champions in yourself and Alex Perez.
True.
I'm excited to see what comes of this 25 thing. I think Perez, I've been saying it for a while. I think Perez is next for that title shot. I think he's earned it. I think the finish in his last fight put him over the top, but it's the UFC and crazy things happen. Where do you think he is? Do you think he gets that shot?
I don't know if he gets that shot. I think he deserves that shot. I think that Alex has gone in this division and has just been finishing people right and left and fighting these tough fights. And even before the UFC, I feel like he was a long time coming, to get in here. He wasn't just some like young fighter with, 5, 10 fights. I think he came in with over 20 fights. So, Alex is a force to be reckoned with, and, he's just getting better and better. And as we've seen from his last fight, is, putting these bets out with leg kicks, like he's just showing more and more weapons. And I feel like he's definitely in line for that next title shot. I think that's a fight that makes sense. And the only thing that might, like derail it potentially is Cody coming down. But, outside of that happening, I mean, even with that happening, I do feel that Alex is entitled to that next shot. But you know how it goes.
Yeah, and he's ready to take another fight if he needs to. But Carla, again, congratulations on another hard-fought win. You're a tough cookie, pun completely intended. Enjoy the win. All the best to you. As it looks like a big fight and a big opportunity is coming your way here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carla.